Tell me about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
Right here in Seattle.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, UW Hospital,
Raised you?
1978. My aunts, the whole tribe. You know.
Tell me more. Tell me more about what tribe.
I kind of bounced around from aunt to aunt. My mom was a heavy alcoholic, so yeah. And then I ran away from home at around 12 years old and started living in receiving homes.
What's a receiving home?
It's like a boys' home, basically. Yeah, down in Rainier Beach. And I did tape dollar to survive. You take packaging tape and fold it over itself at a certain length and stick it to a dollar bill, and you can go and rob the vending machines back then. They're hip to it now. You can't do it. You got to salt water them now.
Well, I mean, I hear you figured out a way to survive.
Yeah.
And eat.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I made about $80 a day as a kid, 12. You know, that's pretty good.
Any brothers or sisters?
No.
Just you.
I was 9 pounds, 10.5 ounces, and my mom said I was all head, and she was 16 years old, so she said I'm never doing that again. So, yeah, only child.
And your dad?
He left when I was 6 months old. He's a roofer in Yakima. I don't know how he survives over there, but yeah.
So you met him?
I met him at 17 years old for the first time. He put a master cylinder in my Cutlass for me.
Well, what was that? How did that happen, and what was that like?
I don't know. It was a trip. You know, I worked at Safeway in Greenwood at the time. I was walking down the aisle with my mom one day, and she goes, "Oh, this is your grandma," and I was like, "Okay, hi, grandma," you know. And I met my dad shortly thereafter, and he put a master cylinder in my car for me. And I just asked him, I was like, "Why didn't you take me with you?" You know. He didn't have an answer, so.
Yeah, at 17, it's like a vital. Well,
yeah, it was kind of a trigger.
Any age is a vital age, but it's like.
Yeah, I was already grown at that point, you know. So, yeah, definitely. I'm taller than him. I know that, a couple inches. He kind of looks like the dad off Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek. Mm-hmm. Gen X, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, right.
What? If you don't mind me asking, what tribe?
Crow Creek Sioux, South Dakota. Yeah. Lakota Sioux.
Mm-hmm. And when you say aunties as a Sioux, or do you mean blood aunties?
Yes.
Gotcha. So your mom's sisters.
Yeah, she had 4 sisters. 1 brother, but I didn't get to meet the brother. He died before I was born. So.
Yeah. Well, what do you remember about your childhood?
About my childhood, it was good up until 7, 8 years old, probably. I lived on property in Stanwood. Picked berries with my mom. She would make me a pie and then take the rest of the berries and make herself wine. Yeah. We had a lot of animals and stuff though, so it was pretty cool. Lived on 5 acres.
Oh yeah. So as a kid, that's
Yeah, I had my own dirt bike, my own pickup truck. My stepdad was a dope dealer, so I was a spoiled kid.
Okay, so your mom, you had a stepdad.
Yeah, he basically took over when my dad left.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he was more my father than my real dad ever will be. So.
Good guy?
A great guy.
Nice.
Yeah. People person, everybody loved him. Yeah, he's passed away too, so has my mom, so.
Oh, well, sorry to hear.
Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, I just didn't know when. She was a heavy drinker, like I said. So.
Yeah.
I will tell you, it's the worst death I've ever seen. Like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, you know. It's pretty bad. Cirrhosis is a horrible thing.
She passed away from drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was tough. I buried her myself. You know, natives, we bury our own, so they backed up a truck and dumped the gravel, and yeah. That was an experience too.
Yeah, that's something that.
My grandfather was full-blooded Scottish-Irish, and so when he died, we had an Irish wake. That was an experience. Had the body over the weekend.
Oh yeah, because they
sit him up, take pictures, you know, all that stuff. Celebrate his life, basically.
Yeah.
But I was so young then, I didn't recognize him as my grandpa. I was like, that's not my grandpa. And I walked out, you know, went out in the yard with the other kids.
Yeah.
We had a tent out there, so.
Well, there's something to that. I've seen, you know, I grew up Catholic, and they have the open casket.
Yeah.
And you do look at this body and go, well, that's not them.
Right.
That's like kind of a vessel or
exactly.
a shell.
Exactly.
But that's not them.
Right.
So I understand
totally.
that. Yeah.
Well, my aunt was like, give him a kiss. And I gave him a kiss, and he was ice cold. And I was just like, nah, that's not my grandpa, and I ran out. But,
Yeah.
yeah, that was definitely an experience I'll never forget. Other than that, I went to Alaska fishing when I was 8 years old, had my 9th birthday up there. That was a cool experience. Alaska's awesome in the summertime.
I bet, man.
I don't know about the winter, but the summertime is pretty cool. Saw northern lights up there and everything. Caught a lot of fish, made $1,000 a week at 12, or at 9, that's not a bad
That's a lot of money in that.
bad payroll. Yeah, I came back with almost $8,000. Yeah, and I lived with Jay Buhner and Edgar Martinez across from Bellevue Mall. So they'd be down at the pool and I'd be throwing the football down to Edgar. That's pretty cool. They'd have a pool party every time they won. So I knew if they played and they weren't down at the pool, that they lost.
They left. Yeah, that was the signal. Well, you said you left when you were 12.
Yeah, I ran away from home.
Why?
So I called
Why?
the police and I said, I'm running away from home. And they said, okay, we'll send an officer to your location. I said, okay. He came and knocked on the door. He's like, I'm Officer Jacobs or whatever. And he's like, I'll be out here in my squad car. And my babysitter at the time, she was the one that helped me. She said, well, just run away from her, you know, because she was abusive, my aunt, one of my aunts. And so I just grabbed my backpack and walked outside and walked past his squad car, and he goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm running away from home. He said, why don't you get in the back here? Took me down to DSHS, and they put me in the receiving home.
Wow.
Yeah, which I then got kicked out of, and went to another receiving home, which was his daughter, basically.
The
Mrs. Washington. So I was at Mr. Lewis's, he kicked me out, and I went to Mrs. Washington, which is his daughter.
okay.
And she was really cool. She was awesome. So I stayed there for a while, and then moved back in with one of my other aunts, Judy. And I told her, I said, just, you know, you're really cool. I like you a lot. So just keep the money. Don't even report me as a runaway. My birthday's on this date. You know, stop it then. And then I'm going to go live with my aunt. She's like, okay. And that was that.
Yeah. Eventually, you left that place.
I left there like right then, pretty much.
Right then.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But I let her go ahead and keep the
Yeah,
check.
yeah, I see what you're saying. So she said, yes, he's still here.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Gotcha,
Exactly.
gotcha. And you went where?
I went to my Aunt Judy's in Burien.
Okay, a different aunt.
Yeah. So my mom and then 4 sisters.
Right. So you're just bouncing around.
Pretty much.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. And then, at 16, I had my own apartment and kind of just took off from there. Worked my butt off, pounded nails.
Gotcha.
You know, did a lot of construction, remodeled for 16 years, and then I went into roofing for about 12, and did a little demolition. That was fun.
Yeah.
And my last construction gig was landscaping for Sailor Landscaping, and he's rated 5 stars on Google, and I learned how to drive heavy equipment there, so
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be making $70 an hour right now,
Yeah.
driving an excavator. I know how to do it, you know.
You got a lot of skills.
But I'm tired of making other people rich off my hard work. So if I go to work again, it's going to be for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any kids?
5. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, I had my first daughter at 16 years old. Baby's mom was 22. She said, I got what I wanted, got a baby, took off with the baby. So
Oh, she wanted the baby.
yeah. And her dad didn't like me, but her mom adored me. And so I wasn't going to fight with her dad and her brother, so I was just like, whatever. She never, pressured me for child support or any of that. And my daughter turned out great, so no complaints, Yeah. And then the other 4 kids were with my second baby's mom. And both of them were Scorpios, both baby's mom. I'm a Leo, so we're opposites. But I guess opposites attract. 4 kids with my second baby's mom. We were together 17 years.
Oh yeah, long time. Good
Yeah,
run.
Yeah. And so I had 2 boys and 2 girls with her. And yeah, that's about it. My youngest is 17 now. Yeah. So they're all grown now,
They're around Seattle area?
Yeah, my son lives with his baby's mom on 103rd in Aurora.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Not the best neighborhood, but she gets by. Yeah.
And you have relationships?
Oh yeah,
With
yeah.
them.
We're still cordial with each other for his sake, I don't like her new boyfriend or whatever, but that's beside the point. He's got DID. You know what that is?
Domestic?
No, it's dissociative identity disorder.
Okay.
It's the same thing that Ted Bundy had. So he could like wake up, not know where he's at or who he is, and he has multiple personalities. We don't know how many yet.
Wow.
So yeah, he's kind of a dangerous.
Some mental
kind
health.
Yeah, he's got some mental health issues.
Yeah.
He's around my kids, so I got to keep tabs on that.
And this is your daughter's.
This is my ex-wife, basically. 17 years relationship. Her new boyfriend.
Her new boyfriend. I see.
Right.
That sounds stressful.
Yeah, it is.
Worrisome, I should say.
Yeah, it is. And then they have a restraining order too on each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of bothers me too. She can go to jail at any time, So yeah. And then it's hard out here on the streets to keep a phone. So to have a constant number is kind of where he could call me,
Yeah.
Kind of difficult. So yeah. The struggle is real, That's pretty much all I have to say about it, really.
Well, tell me about the transition. I mean, I hear.
You want to know why I'm out here?
Not why.
I mean,
I don't.
I could tell you.
If you
in
want
a
to answer that,
nutshell,
go ahead.
yeah. It's I worked at Wingstop as a shift leader. I ended up getting sick. I didn't want to go to the doctors to get diagnosed because I knew they'd shove the vaccine down my throat. So I just didn't go to work. And that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I did the right thing, Stayed home.
How long ago was this?
5 years.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Been out here for 5 years, yeah. I'm still wondering what happened to the $900 billion that was donated, and I'm still out here 5 years later. It's not adding up, So, I don't know, maybe ask Elon Musk about that or one of those guys.
I always had this running, there's no lack of money.
No.
There is no lack of money.
No, there isn't. I mean,
Funding's there. Seattle's a
all these
rich
people are driving
city.
around in Cybertrucks now and Teslas and Sprinters. I mean, none of those things are cheap, but they'd rather just give you a dirty look or pretend you're not there, when you're homeless. And I always joke with them, I'm like, hey, can you spare a couple bucks? I need some gas for my spaceship. Sometimes they'll drop a 20 on me, So it's pretty cool. Some people are cool, some people aren't, Some people aren't people, I don't think. They're out-of-towners.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so.
So when you quit your job, you were housed?
Yeah, I had a place to live at the time.
Place to live? And then slowly
it just kind of dwindled away, because I couldn't pay rent, What am I to do? So, yeah, that's why I'm out here, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm signed up with like Cheap Seattle Club and things like that, so there's resources and stuff, but right now they just don't have housing for anybody. They're still in the process of building them, so I'm just waiting on that. I'm on a waiting list. I have to check back in with them, as a matter of factly, but yeah, I don't know. For now, I'm thinking maybe just going down to Tent City, kind of rough it out there for a while and see what falls into place, Yeah.
A question I like to ask Kevin, that you're kind of around anyways, is there anything that you want the people of Seattle to know?
Yeah, these gang stalkers they're out of pocket, they're out of control. People need to just, if you don't want to recognize us as being here, or you want to pretend we're not here, then just do so, like mind your own business and stay in your own lane. If it doesn't pertain to you, keep it pushing, That's all.
Tell me more about the gang stalking.
They just follow you around, you'll walk down a street, all of a sudden it becomes the busiest street you've ever seen, and it's not at any other time, Or there'll be a car with his headlights just looking at you half a block down. As soon as you get close to the car, he drives off, Just stupid things like that. And it's like, this is my city. I was born here. So don't feel entitled. If anybody's entitled, it's me. I practically built half this city, Yeah. I can take you around to buildings, churches that I've put roofs on, I've torn down floors of skyscrapers downtown. I built a walkway for Virginia Mason Hospital in Issaquah. I worked on various Radio Shacks back when we had Radio Shacks.
When they existed.
Yeah. Damn, I'm old. Yeah. You know, it's like these people move in and they're just like, they feel so entitled, and it's like, entitled to what? You know, like you have a nice warm apartment to go to, or a house. You have a Tesla. You know, go out and do something with it. Go to the club. Find a woman or something. Why are you out here tormenting homeless people? Who's the degenerate? The homeless person or the one that's tormenting him?
Yeah, great question.
You know, so that's all I have to say about it, really.
What do you want? What do you want, Kevin, for your future?
I want it all. You know, I want the world in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to go to a different galaxy, maybe, see what it's like there.
Fill up your spaceship. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, fill up my spaceship and travel a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
because there's more out there than this. I know that. I've known that since I was young. You know, we couldn't be the only ones here. Come on now.
Yeah. Those
Right.
things to ponder are amazing.
I think the sun is just like a refueling station for them, and we're just kind of a pit stop, like a rest area along the way. You know, that's why we have all the sightings,
Yeah.
which they finally admitted to. You know, it's like, did we put a man on the moon? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. None of my business. I stay out of it. I don't work for NASA or anything like that. I'm not a threat. You know, even though they might think I am, they watch me like I am. You know, but basically, you know, they want to come fucking with me, pack a lunch.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the one. I got hands.
You have construction hands, man.
Yeah, I have construction experience.
You've been swinging a hammer your whole life, so.
There you go. And and people they underestimate me a lot.
Mhm.
You know, I don't look like much, but I'm very strong.
Yeah.
And then I always got my trusty blade with me too. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Tell me about your current situation. You're here.
No, I'm just hanging out with these guys right
Gotcha.
here. I have a tent off in the woods.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, down by Golden Gardens, kind of. I just hang out there, but I come by here to see how these guys are doing. These are all my friends. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically my street family.
Yeah. I mean, we all need like community.
Sure.
We all need people.
We're all
to
people.
socialize
Yeah,
and-
we're all. Yeah, totally. And if I fly a sign, it usually says "Be a better human being." Pay it forward. You know,
Yeah.
like things like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's part of why I do this. It's like we're all living in Ballard right now together. Let's figure this out.
Sure.
It's like
I've
my
died 4
neighbors.
times and come back. Twice was from fentanyl. One time was somebody gave me fentanyl on purpose and killed me on purpose. The second time was accidental with Fetty, and the other 2 times were when I had a fall and I hit my head. I died once in the ambulance and once at the hospital. And what I've learned out of it is just, you are where you need to be. God's plan's already written. We can't change it, so you are where you need to be. And don't go chasing the universe, man. Let it come to you. You know? Yeah. So I'm pretty mellow, easygoing. Just take it easy, sit back, watch. For the most part.
Well, cool, man. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Good to hear your voice.
All right, man.
All right. I'm got that little mic, and
Yeah.
I got to take a couple photos.